Hey yo, it's Dad Rap, aka Saratoga Slim, and I am back with the Racing Dudes. I am on the Racing Dudes YouTube channel, all over the place on Dad Rap Music, Instagram, rapping, but I am back now with the Racing Dudes, and I have a new show to announce, and it's going to be called Friday Football Freakout. Every Friday night, starting in week 2 of the NFL season, I'm going to be live streaming with the dudes, with the Racing Dudes and other guests, and we're going to be talking about NFL football. We're going to be helping you set your fantasy football lineups, talking about DFS lineups, and, it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in on Friday nights for a lot of fun. Get a beer. It's the end of the week, and enjoy each other and enjoy just being able to watch football again. It's been such a long summer for me as a dad. I've been rapping about being a dad, and seriously, being with the kids all summer. They're going back to school and football are starting. So week 1 is here, and I'm going to preview it with a pre-recording because, there is a Friday night game on week 1 for some reason. I have no idea, but every other Friday, we're going to be live streaming, talking about it. But my week 1 preview is here right now. So I'm going to be talking about a DFS lineup. This is something that I think we're going to be doing on Friday nights. It's a good coverage of the different players that you might like that week that we'll be talking about. We'll be taking your comments in the chat and, talking about all these types of players. Like the first one of the year I'm going to talk about is Tua, because they're playing against Jacksonville, a 49.5 over and under. When you play a daily fantasy football lineup on a Sunday main slate, and this is the main slate, the Sunday 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games, that's all the players that are available for this main slate. That's where most of the big money contests are played on Sundays. You can watch the Red Zone and have your daily lineup. You have your league-long lineups, but, you might like a guy that's coming on strong that you think is going to be really good that week. Hey, you could cash in with your daily lineup. This is with DraftKings. We'll be talking about FanDuel. Until I get a sponsorship, we'll be looking at both of those sites and how to set a lineup. And the first guy I'm talking about is Tua, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Obviously has had concussion issues, but last year really put together a strong season. They're playing against Jacksonville. The over and under of this game is 49.5. It's one of the highest lines of the week. It is the highest over and under for this Sunday slate for the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. And when I have a quarterback, when I play DFS, I always like to have a combo. And here the stack is with Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, hey, he's been injured a lot in his career. And even during training camp, they said he was injured. It was undisclosed. I never like when they have these undisclosed injuries on these guys. But you know what? They say he's 100%. He's ready to go. They say Tyreek Hill also was dealing with a thumb-hand issue. He's ready to go. So I think Tua versus Jacksonville, it's going to be a back and forth game. And when I like to play a stack, I like to have a high scoring game that I'm projecting. Evan Engram on the other side is the tight end I'm starting here from Jacksonville. Hey man, I followed this guy's whole career. When he was on the Giants as a rookie, I thought this guy was going to be a real talent, and he just can never put it together for the Giants. He had a big drop in a big spot in one of the games that cost him a playoff game, and this guy was very frustrating as a Giant, but last year put it together on the Jaguars, and Trevor Lawrence is just really relied on him. And, he has a new wide receiver with Gabe Davis coming from Buffalo. He has this rookie, Brian Thomas Jr., that's, really flashing some good upside. But I think right now, to start the season in a high-scoring game, Evan Engram is going to get a lot of usage, and Trevor Lawrence is going to be throwing the ball because I feel like they're going to trail a little bit, but, have some good drives that hopefully Evan Engram gets a touchdown. In the preseason, he had 2 touchdowns in the last game. So, man, he's coming in. I don't really look at preseason, but he's coming into the game hot if you like that. So looking at my running backs, I already covered the quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end. I'm skipping around a little bit just to tell you the story of how I see the week playing out. Ken Walker on Seattle. Man, this guy is going to be a workhorse for this team Pete Carroll is out after a decade plus of being a coach there. So they got the defensive coordinator from the Ravens coming over. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be relying on their defense. And Ken Walker is going to be an absolute stud this year. He's going to get a lot of usage, maybe lead the league in carries. I mean, this is how much work I think this guy's going to get. And I should be saying, why I like these teams. You see here, got the guy, Tua versus Jacksonville, ranked 29th. So the rank is last year's ranking of how many fantasy points these defenses gave up. So you'll see that I am looking at some of the worst defensive teams against these positions as of last year. This is the first week, so we're gathering data. We're always gathering data to see what defenses are good against the run, which ones are good against the pass. But last year, Denver ranked 31st. That's second to last in the league against the run. Ken Walker, he's going to touch the ball at least 20 times in this game. So 100-plus yards. Hopefully he gets in the end zone. And on the other side of the ball, this is a 42-point over and under game. So sometimes when I see these lower over and under games, I like playing the running backs. And these are different angles that I'm going to be talking about during the season. All these things I think about all week long. But this is a lower scoring game. Denver at Seattle. So, hey, Javonte Williams, this is a guy that I've been scared of his injuries, but he's 2 years removed from his ACL injury. And Javonte Williams, at the beginning of the preseason, they said that Jaleel McLaughlin might take over as the number one running back there, but no. Javonte came to camp, and he came ready. The reports have been great out of camp. He's going to touch the ball a lot here for Denver as the first game for Bo Nix. He's a rookie. His first game, hey, man, they're not going to let this guy air the ball every play. They're going to be relying on the run. Javonte Williams, hopefully a low-scoring game where these guys both get touchdowns. Denver at Seattle play the running backs. I'm going to roll through this real quick. I love Malik Neighbors. I'm so excited. I am a Giants fan, and this is kind of a homer pick. But Minnesota ranked 29th against the pass for wide receivers fantasy points last year. So, man, I feel like he's going to want to show out. Justin Jefferson on the other side of the ball. If you want to play him in a lineup where you really focus on a stud here, this is a more balanced lineup where all the guys, are wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, but not like the name top tier guys like Justin Jefferson. But I think Justin Jefferson versus Malik Neighbors, two LSU alums, they're going to want to show out against each other. So I see a real show there that, both defenses, hey, I don't think the Giants are going to be very good either, but I do believe in Daniel Jones. And you know why? 2 years ago, he beat the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs, and that's why he got this $160 million for 4 years, which is astronomical for him. But I feel like he got a really bad rap last year because he was injured. I hope he proves me right, and Malik Neighbors gets it going in week 1 with him, with his new quarterback. Another one who has a new quarterback, a rookie, Rome Odunze. Okay, I said it wrong. Okay, but he's playing against Tennessee. They're at home. Chicago. Caleb Williams, the rookie to rookie. I feel like when you play a guy who's a $4,000 salary guy, you just want a big play, a big-time play, and this Rome Odunze has shown signs of it in the preseason. He's shown flashes. As a rookie, hey, man, he might bust one for 70 yards, and there you go. That $4,000 you spent in your lineup is totally worth it. Last but not least, I'm going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons and Drake London. Hey, man, I'm not sure about this. Pittsburgh, I just think Pittsburgh is really in a bad shape right now, and that's why I'm playing the Atlanta defense. Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson, their offensive line looked horrible in the preseason. Jalen Warren's coming back pretty quickly from this hamstring injury, so I don't know if he's going to be 100%, and I just feel like Pittsburgh is not with it right now. So I'm picking the Atlanta defense at home. Atlanta got some big offseason. Judon is on their team now. So they got some guys on defense now. I think Atlanta's going to be building a squad. And I went with Drake London as my flex. Hey, man, I think he's going to have a great season. I'm a little worried about Joey Porter Jr. that might be shadowing him during the game. But, hey, I think he's all right, Drake London. So I just threw him in there. I'm going to be honest with you, and that's why it's going to be so much fun about the Friday night freak out or Friday football freak out. join me next week, week 2, and we're going to be talking about all this stuff, and we're just going to have fun. Sit back, relax, and talk about football because, all the dads out there, I'm a dad. I'm rapping about being a dad, and you guys might know I'm rapping now. And I'm going to be rapping on the show. We're going to have musical guests. It's going to be a whole thing. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about being back with the racing dudes and having fun on these live streams because, when I come on the live streams, if it wasn't the Kentucky Derby one or whatever, I'm always having fun. And we're just going to have a blast out there. I'm going to rap. I'm going to bring on some musical guests, some people I've met on Instagram that have just been really cool to me that can rap. Musical guests, Friday night. It's going to be a whole show. Like, I'm bringing a show. This is not me just talking about football, but I'm also giving out good football advice. Talk about being a dad, not having anything to do on a Friday night because, hey, man, I'm 45 years old. I got to admit to you all that, hey, I'm not hitting the bars to 2 a.m. when I was in my 20s. The kids are down. I'm just looking to have a beer and talk to my friends about football. So please join us for the Friday Football Freakout, 10 p.m. Eastern, starting on September 13th. Friday the 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be talking about football. So for Dad Rap Music, for Saratoga Slim, peace. I'm out.